Okay, so just out of curiosity, what did y'all predict?
13.
15, 13, that's all 6. Okay, so actually, on the next day, so on the day after the initial outbreak, so one day after the initial outbreak, 4 kids showed up.
I knew I should have put 4.
Dang it.
I put 3 first.
Okay, so now predict what you think is going to happen on the second day after the outbreak. Just write a prediction right here. Any prediction you see?
6.
Oh, wait, did I write this on the wrong spot?
Okay, and so on the second day after the outbreak, 8.
Oh.
Darn it. I was wrong. I guess 16.
Okay, so now make your prediction on what's going to happen the third day after the outbreak.
16. Oh, it's 15. Why is it?
14. Oh, wait, I'm trying to write some prediction. I don't know why I did this.
Okay, so make your prediction. So 15 kids showed up. Make a prediction for what's going to happen on day 4 after the outbreak starts.
29. Oh my god.
Do it, no.
How?
45.
I said lizard.
32.
57.
34.
45.
46.
Oh.
53. I was close.
What did you say?
57.
Okay, I'm guessing 100.
88.
100 is 2.
82.
83.
Why did they stop these children?
87.
Oh,
This is 7 years.
101.
12.
Okay, I'm guessing 104.
103.
5.
200.
114.
130.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
Jesus.
I'm guessing 200. Do we have any?
What is it doing?
175.
126.
150.
200.
About 350. 175.
Ooh, I was close.
216.
201.
232. 193. 221.
1.
204.
240.
270.
260.
240.
240.
I'll take it.
I'd like to buy a belt.
Oh, this is hard. This is so weird.
Okay, what's starting to happen? I don't know.
You're going down.
The increase is getting less.
The increase is getting smaller. Now it's still increasing, but the increase is getting smaller. So
We're getting close to asking.
237.
look at Logan pulling out the math on us.
Yeah.
What did you say?
So it's getting close to an asking scope. And y'all thought I was gone for 3 weeks.
Okay, after 237.
250. Watch. Told you. I believed in myself.
255.
You don't worry. 243. 245.
247.
250 is yeah.
248. Dang it.
249.
249.
248.5. 248. Wait, 249.5. Half a kid?
No half kids.
Just
We got no half kids.
He only got.
Although, did anybody in here have a baby for Miss Evans'
Oh my
class?
gosh.
Not yet.
No, not yet.
I've had my own thing.
She told me all that. Do y'all know what happened to her yesterday?
No.
You're supposed to put them on daycare mode,
babies.
and it didn't work.
Oh,
So in daycare mode, they're supposed to like just really be off all day because they're at daycare. And it didn't work, so everybody dropped them off for daycare, and she plugged them all in, and everybody went to class, and all the babies started crying. All 10 of them. And she couldn't turn them off. And they're just like real babies. If you don't help them, they get louder and louder. She had to put them in the bed.
Yeah.
She had to call customer
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she'll learn that closet that one year.
She does that differently. Dude, Alyssa Stratas would not shut up.
So anyway, I was thinking, I guess you can have a half a baby if it's bad.
Kayla,
Okay,
she cried.
okay, so we got a graphic real fast. So, let's see.
OMG.
Let's see.
Zero.
Okay, so your x-axis is counting by ones, your y-axis is counting by tens. Looks kind of like that.
Yeah.
Kind of. Okay, so there's some questions here, 1 through 5, that they want you to answer about your values in your graph. So take just a second and answer those. Okay, so did the number of infected students increase the same amount each day?
No.
The number of infected students doubled each day? The number of infected students increased and then decreased?
No.
False. That's not exactly what happened. Okay, so it says I'm going to give you the actual function. Actually, I'm not going to give it to you. What we're going to do is we're going to get our calculator to give it to us. So get your calculator out if you don't already have it out.
When did we take our SAT? January?
March.
We're going in January calculator.
March 5th.
I did not realize that.
March 5th.
Yeah.
Oh. It's been dead for almost a month.
And it's still dead?
Why is it on? I mean, it's still working, but like, it's been like dead.
Oh, it's been saying it's going to die?
Yeah.
And it still works?
For
And they say that like low batteries, it'll say low batteries like for a year.
stop.
Okay, so if you'll go to stat and edit.
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Hold on a second, I'll show you how.
Stat.
Go stat edit and go ahead and put this list in all the way 0 through 18, and I'll do it on the Inspire real fast. On the Inspire. Ooh, my star got stuck in his
Well,
phone.
and do you have an extra calculator?
If you go to the homepage, Inspire People, and choose this one,
What is that?
it's the spreadsheet. It's at the very top. If you want to label them, you can. I'm going to just because it makes my life easier.
Please suggest
The next
your
page.
mom doesn't like
Hot potatoes?
impossible.
Hey, listen, you know one of them? And since this is did we go to, you want us to do log, is it log or will we find it log or will we find it exponential?
Well, you tell me. What does it look? Does it look like a logarithm?
No.
Does it look like an exponential?
After I graphed it, after I said here.
more.
Kind of. It does kind of look like an exponential. What is the difference though? What about it does not look exponential?
Like the curve of the line. Like how it like goes.
Like
Makes like a S.
yeah, it looks like an X. Actually, it exactly it looks like an S. It's actually called a sigmoid. It looks like an S.
A sin.
Sigmoid. From the Greek word sigma. Okay, real quick. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a regression. If you're on the Inspire, you have to highlight one of the cells that has something in it. On yours, you just hit stack, arrow over to calculate. On ours, we're going to hit color. And then 4, statistics, and stat calc. So y'all go to stat calc. And then this is a logistic. So you've got to arrow down until you see the one that says logistic regression. So and hit enter. Now
Do you
on
want to
ours, we
store
have
it
to
in-
tell our X and Y list.
You want to store in my line?
Yeah, go ahead and store it, and we'll see if we can look at our graph. If it'll look right.
Alpha trace Y1.
Wait, what do you have to change stuff?
X. I named my X list days and my Y list infected. Yours are just X and Y.
Go to log instance.
Yeah, you can leave everything else. And mine already had something in it, so I didn't just clear everything out. So it should have stored it in F1 for you.
What did you?
Mine stored it in F3 because I had something in F1.
Yeah.
They say this calculator doing some weird.
It's thinking. Is it thinking?
No, it's not even.
It's like me, it doesn't know.
Okay, so now once you put it in, it gives you all these crazy values, and it shows you what the function is supposed to look like. This is what the function is supposed to look like, and then you're going to plug in the value. So let me show you on that A4.
Mine is still thinking.
Still? It may be slow. Is everybody else still thinking? It shouldn't take it that long.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know, it's
It
quick.
says logistic L1, L2.
It's doing this.
Error.
It's doing this
Yeah,
inside.
it's mine.
Oh, it goes. There it goes. You got it.
Okay.
Is it that long? It's because we put a lot in.
Here.
It's because we put a lot of data in. But the more data that you put in, the more accurate your function is. So,
I don't know.
that's not a thing. Why was there, so that everyone gets
I don't even know.
What did you just say?
That's true.
He's just like, no, that's,
The best is what you mean?
yes.
There was more houses and more and
Alpha trace.
No.
Yeah, but what, like,
I just look into it.
Actually,
Oh, there it is. Wow, those are some not nice.
Yeah. Okay, it's not as bad as you think though. Let me see somebody's 84 real quick. I can't type with these phones. This is telling you what these logistic functions actually look like. So actually they look like this. I'm going to put f of x instead of y. F of x equals c over 1 plus a e to the negative, they put bx. Now, we're used to that b value being a k. It's a constant, but your calculator, just like if we do y equals mx plus b, y'all know your calculator does not do mx plus b. Your calculator does y equals ax plus b, because they just pick whatever letters they want. Okay, so it told us that our a value is this 125.64, so that's going to go here. Your c value is 250.
I mean, write that down.
So our actual function is 250.11 over 1 plus 125.64 e to the negative 0.7x. That's your actual function. Calculator just gave you. Does everybody understand how to read this piece that they gave you? It's kind of weird because it's got all the parentheses, it's got the little caret to indicate it's an exponent, but that's what it should look like.
Why am I doing this?
Okay, I did her thing, and then I put it into, like, I did the logarithmic afterwards, and like, that's what, it popped up logarithmic on the front screen, not like where it
Just
gave
click
the option
calculate.
to like put in stuff.
Yeah, it's good.
So like, I don't know what's going on.
And then that's a
So then I
function
just
of.
put Y1, and then I click it.
I didn't know this.
Where?
I went to the breakfast road today and home.
You're really pretty cool, so
Trying to survive this. How was your life? Just trying to make it through too.
I mean, that's it, like, you're not
Make it
gonna.
through as well.
So like, they're not, but
Oh,
it's just like later than building like the beer. So that's
I
not
think it's
just.
gonna be cute because me and Ray.
As soon as I pass this year, it's just gonna be easy cruising next
I
year.
need to find.
Besides the first semester and 3 college classes.
I wanna eat with you, but Brittany was joining us.
I know.
That would be really awkward.
I have to think about grades though. It's like, I'd be fine with
You're not
graduating.
Alright, yeah, it's only 2 and a half.
No, I don't know what the plan. I can see it.
Well, it's history hard for you?
Cookies on the cake.
Yeah, I
What?
wing it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then what happened?
Kaylee
English.
told them that it
This
was
is
not
the
enough
darkest
for her to do it,
one.
supposedly.
More.
Kaylee asked
We had like
him
this
to
online,
prom.
2 different
said
online
yes.
professors.
Kaylee
And
did
it
it,
was,
you
first
know.
semester was rough.
Oh, I know, you just missed
And
it.
then she said she.
You could like,
Mr.
you know, get your fingers, you know how to zoom in.
We're not using it.
Cool dude, like he's bad.
Yeah.
He's just not tolerant.
All you need to know is
So
girls are
you
evil.
don't be a dipshit.
Yes.
Don't try to, yeah, don't be.
Boys are evil, girls are snakes.
Logan, you can always.
Logan.
Yours,
Yours,
it needs to be upgraded,
Content.
so in just a minute, I'll see if I can find it.
It's
speaking again.
Bailey.
Okay, so now let's look at it, because you should have just stored it, so now let's actually look at the actual graph. So go, change your window to go 0 to 20 on the x-axis, go 0 to 250 on the y-axis, counting by tens.
Wait, what did I?
Say that again.
Change your window to look like this. It's right here. Okay.
Oh, I did it.
Okay, does your graph look like your graph that you sketched,
Yes.
kind of?
Yes.
Okay,
Kinda.
so it says, mine's, you did it, you know, did it? Okay. Okay, so then it says compare this graph and its, compare this function and its graph to the other functions described in this unit. So we're gonna look at the one that you have, or you can actually even look at this one. The other functions in this unit are the exponential. What does, I'm just gonna sketch real quick down here. What does an exponential graph look like? Careful, that backwards. Which one's that?
What? Inverse?
It goes this way, right? Okay, well, there's actually two. There's that one.
Oh.
What would that be?
Exponential.
Exponential decay. Growth. Exponential decay would look like that, yes. And what about this one? What's that?
That is the inverse of.
Which is? It is the inverse. What's the inverse of an exponential?
Log.
Log. So that would be logarithmic. This would be logarithmic, and these two are both exponential. So how is this sigmoid similar, and how is it different? Is it similar, is it? It looks logarithmic. It's like both of them kind of put together, kind of combine the two things. If you look at your function, this, what do you think causes that? Why do you think it looks that it's kind of a combination of the two? The E is down here. The E is in the denominator, where on an exponential the E is usually up on top on the line. So it is kind of a combination of the two. Because I do have an E down here, but it's in the denominator, so it's not exactly an exponential. This is called a logistic function. And they're actually really commonly used a lot by statisticians. So, anybody want to be a statistician?
No.
No. That's what I'm going to do.
I want to be a player. Hey! That's why I didn't want me here. I knew that I took back to regular class. If we seriously have 35 days left.
That's it, really?
35 days.
Actually,
34.
Of what?
Okay, so let me ask you a question about the chicken pox one. Why do you think it had an asymptote at 250?
Because that's how many students there are.
Yeah.
At least that's how many eligible students there are. Why would I say that? What makes somebody eligible to get the chicken pox?
They have to go to school.
Well, they do have to go to school. And
The shot.
They have.
no, pretending the shot that doesn't. We're going to pretend the shot doesn't exist.
They haven't had. They haven't had.
Yeah, they have to have not had it before. Because if you've had it before, you have antibodies against it, and you're not going to get it again. At least 99%, yeah. As a matter of fact, that's how they've created a shot. They give you the virus, and your virus creates antibodies against it, so you don't ever get it. So 250 must be the number of children at that school who had never had chickenpox before. Number of exposed children at the school who've never had it. That's your limiting agent. Okay, so here's the actual, what we would call logistic parent function, right here. When we use the letter C in math, why do we use the letter C? What is C? There's a lot of C words in math, but specifically in a function, it's a constant. It's some sort of constant. Now, for each logistic problem, that constant's going to be different. For a chickenpox problem, that constant was 250. These are really, you'll see in a second because we're going to talk about a viral video, but let's say it's Brady, Texas, and this is a gossip problem. What would our C value be? What's your limiting value going to be in Brady, Texas on how many people hear a certain piece of gossip? Number of people, right? Which would be how much in Brady?
Wait, in the school or like the town?
In the whole town. We got a gossip problem in the whole town.
Yeah.
It'd be 5,500 because that's our population. So that would be your limiting agent. 5,500 people is all that's going to know because that's who lives here. Now, obviously, we have ways of other people knowing too. That's just a phrase. Okay, so logistic functions are used to model exponential growth when there is a limit where the growth is actually going to be stopped by something. In logistic growth, a rapid increase is followed by a slowing and an eventual leveling off of the values. Think of a rumor that spreads to the community. First, the news travels really, really quickly. Eventually, everybody's heard it, and so it just levels off. The S-shaped graph we produced is called a sigmoid. So viral videos, a well-known website, allows users to post videos and then tracks the number of times it's viewed. The popularity of one video can be demonstrated by this particular function. So it says V of X estimates the total number of times the video has been viewed X days after posting. Complete the table. So we're going to plug it in our calculator and complete this table. Probably just change your table from auto to ask so you can just plug in and get just those values. okay, this one says round answer to the nearest whole number, so what'd y'all get for 0?
60,749.
I got 8.
Okay,
Yeah, I got 8.
I got 8.
8.
And then for 4, I got 291.
Yes. 894, is it 474?
8 and 4, 2. 47465.
Ding, ding, ding.
According to this function, what is the limit to the growth of the number of times the video has been viewed? It's a fraction.
Wait, limit to the growth of the movie. How do you go what? Wait.
So what's the limit?
234.
5,400? Or 54,000, sorry. 4,000? Some critics consider that a video was considered going viral if it hits 30,000 views in 10 days. According to this definition, could this video be classified as viral?
Yeah.
Oh, we don't know anything else.
We don't know because they didn't ask us 10. Let's put 10 in and see.
No.
Nope. Not quite. It's real close. Because for 10, on day 10, I got 29,000. Which is not 30,000. So there's no. I think that the rest of it should be self-explanatory. It's just explanatory. No. Just more of the same, plugging in.
Sherry wants to.
That was literally so dumb.
What did you get, Isis?
No, I was absent my 6th and 7th period on Thursday when we left for the track meet. And like, I guess they didn't have me in for like extracurricular, and so she was like, you missed your 6th and 7th on Thursday. And I was like,
Is it Christy?